In the last episode, we examined William Branham, a 20th century faith healer and self-proclaimed prophet, and his claims to prophetic fulfillment and prophecy that he was given from God in 1933. In this episode, we're going to focus on a very specific prophecy, the 1977 world-ending one. And with that sentence alone, you might begin to see a very big problem. Now let's add some nuance here. Those of you who follow William Branham, you'll know that he said something very specific, and message apologists, pastors, and ministers will tell you the same thing. They'll say, well, he predicted that it would end in 1977. He didn't say that he prophesied. Here's the problem. That's what a prophecy is. It's a prediction. They're the same thing. That's the definition. So if a prophet gives a deadline and it passes, what does Scripture say? Now think back to Deuteronomy 18. If a prophet speaks presumptuously and it doesn't come to pass, then it was not from God. And you know, it would be one thing if it was just a one-time offense, but Branham repeatedly suggested the end-time events would culminate before 1977. We are now decades beyond that date, but let's take a second. Again, Deuteronomy 18 says, if what the prophet says does not come to pass, the Lord has not spoken. The question isn't whether some predictions were vague enough to retrofit, because they were. And we'll get to that. But the question is, did time-bound statements that Branham set fail? If they did, and they have, then Scripture is clear. And if Scripture is clear, then loyalty must follow Scripture, not a man or a movement or emotional attachment. Truth must stand above charismatic personalities, bottom line. And if you truly do desire to worship Christ, then you will submit to what Scripture has already said. Jesus himself told you who the Elijah the prophet was. What more do you need? Failed prophecies from Branham? Well, here's one of them. Don't worry, there's more, and we'll get to that in the next episode.